Alright boys and girls, and welcome back to another building video. By the time this video has been uploaded, Christmas will be up and finished. Hopefully some of you console guys got a PC. These guys are the Giga Chads of the server, and they're heading back to depot loot in this. Something doesn't look right. Every Giga Chad group needs a Giga Chad base, and that's where this bad boy comes into play. Boys and girls, this has been an amazing year, and I owe it all to you guys. Anyone who's watched the videos, tried out the bases, interacted in any way, I really appreciate all of you. The end of the year is super close, and we're even closer to 30,000 subscribers. If we could hit that before 2023, that'd be nuts. I consider this to be the greatest base I've posted so far on the channel, so consider that a Christmas present from me to you. And we'll start our tour off outside of our external disconnectable TC. Disconnects like so, and then can be rebuilt just like that. Allows us to replace the main TC inside the base if you so please. We have 4 of them in total, and they each come with an interesting gatehouse with one of these turret bods. Now the thing to understand about Chainlink is they reduce the damage of HVs, they block 5-5 and Explo, and they prevent grub use weapons like compound bows. So very good compound turrets throughout here, giving us great coverage. Then from each point we have 2 access areas into our funnel wall. Now the purpose of a funnel wall is to funnel the raiders through a cheap path, leading them into traps such as these shotgun traps. Spam flame traps, shotgun traps here, anything you can, and it's the path of least resistance, forcing the raiders through these traps. Then we have 4 external bedrooms here that come with some nice peaks out into our compound, and those peaks will be broadened assuming the high walls have been blown up, and then you'll see even more from there. There's also a turret that covers these beds, the boxes, and a battery underneath, and due to those chainlink fences, that turret is nice and safe and can still cover the rest of compound. You can see the rest of our funnel wall through there with all its different entrances and exits, and here are our breach peaks again that will have even better angles assuming the compound walls have been blown up. These bedrooms repeat all the way around, symmetrical by 4, and they're just some nice respawn points inside compound to defend from. Of course, keep some extras kits in here. Now we can head into our kind of wide starter base. It's nice and open, good for the larger groups that will be building this base. Plenty of space to run around and move. We have a mobility chute on each side with some drop boxes too. Here's our TC tucked in over there, and the cool thing about this starter base is the turrets see all the way inside. So nice and defended once the turrets are up and running, and they have angles deep inside the core. Now lads, sometimes when I get bored of Rust, I hop into bed and I open up Onestate RP on my phone. Onestate is the first ever open world online game with roleplay mode. This is the first time I've seen something like this on the mobile. Looking like we've got some endless action to get involved with here. There's so many roleplay activities to get on and do. You can play around inside some expensive vehicles and even a helicopter. Hundreds of people can be on one map at a time, and the game is filled with thousands of players that you can meet. You can build a career as a police officer, lead a faction, or join a gang and live a life of criminal activity. Slowly organize your business and trade with other players to make it to the top of the server. The game has been optimized for all different devices so everyone can play comfortably. Boys and girls, Onestate is absolutely free and does not have any annoying pop-up ads like other games. Download Onestate from the link in the description now and come play with me, and I'll leave a promo code as a gift to you guys. Thank you for sponsoring the video, Onestate RP. Let's get on with the rest of the tour. Alright, heading up our mobility, space for bed, boxes, but most importantly this leads to our OpenCore. The OpenCore is protected by 4 ramp turrets that are slightly stronger than your average turret sitting out in the open. We have a lot of boxes that are all spread out in different corners of the base, keeping our raid cost as high as we can. A couple of hidden boxes as well in front of our main loot room here. Often these are missed and not regularly checked by the average raider, so I'd recommend storing some boom in those bottom 3. And of course it's symmetrical, so you've got 6 of those total. Space for some batteries here as well, and there's our other secret boxes. Then we have 2 jump ups, taking us to the next floor, where I've gone for beds mainly, scattered around the shooting floor. So nice respawn area here, and just spam some lockers down in the middle. You might not need all these beds, there's a good chance you won't, but they're there in case you need them. Out onto the shooting floor, we have a multitude of wide-gapped angles. We have some half-height windows here. We have freehands, and out this garage door is our external bedrooms. These are mainly used as breach peaks. They're a wonderful little respawn as well, providing angles into the compound. And of course, retakes into our shooting floor. Here's what we can see, and here's what a raider would see. So some really nasty angles back into the shooting floor to help retake that if that point has been taken. And there's 4 of those in total. Really useful little spawns. Make sure you fill those lockers up. And assuming you've got your compound turrets down, perfectly safe over there. We can head back out of the bedroom now, into the rest of our shooting floor. Around this end we have our freehands, and there's a turret in the back here to cover shooting floor. Freehands provide some angles throughout the rest of the compound that we may have missed, and they have a roof peek up section as well above those, providing some angles onto the roof to help defend from a top down raid, and just check and see if anyone's messing about up on the roof. And of course there's 4 of those as well on every corner. Again, the wide gap peaks, the half height windows, just providing really nice angles all the way around. Shooting floor is mainly for covering the close angles, and then roof we have some nice peaks to use out far. 2 jump ups to roof that come with extra roof peak ups on the way, 1 at each side of the base, and this will cover any blind spots that you may have missed from outside in the shooting floor. Quick window to check outside as well, and then a double door leading out. On our roof we have got in total 8 turrets. Only 4 of them are necessary, but if you end up having a few extra, of course throw them up here. Those higher up turrets have got wonderful angles onto the entire roof. We have 2 venom machine bunkers. There are 8 rockets to despawn or 8 rockets to loot. And of course you can sell items from here. And these can only be opened if they have main TC and the externals. Couple of half height windows allow us to peek down, and then we have some breach peaks that we can use to check at the bottom of compound, and 2 head glitch any players further away from the base. Those chain links block some bullets being fired at you from the left and right, and also cover the turret from the outside as well. Heading around to this section here, these half height head glitches are perfect as well for spraying at people far away, and of course the box is there for crouch meta, so you guys can control that AK while head glitching the players that are out far away. Overall, roof's got really nice mobility, really nice turret angles, couple of bunkers. You really can't ask for anything else. Hopefully you guys are impressed by the base. Alright, speaking about the base, here's what it costs in total. Kind of an expensive one. Here are some box amounts to make it easier to visualize. And lastly, it's the total upkeep spread between 5 TCs, 4 externals, 1 main. And now you got all the information you need. Let's jump on to the building portion of today's video. We're going to start off with a circle wrapped in squares, and we're going to live out of 4 of them as our starter base. 3 loot rooms and 1 TC loot room. A thing to keep in mind is the base is symmetrical by 2, so keep that in mind while you're building. We'll have our 3 loot rooms here with ramps for extra honeycombing. And then on the opposite side we'll have 1 loot room and 1 TC room. Carrying a shelf through like that so we can get our boxes down. And making sure we lock our TC because it's a multi-TC base, so let's make sure we do that. Nice big open starter so you guys can fill that bad boy up before you're ready to expand to OC. Alright, expanding the footprint now. On the corners we do 2 triangles and a square to make this kind of shape. And we do the same over here. And you'll see from the bird's eye view what's going on the footprint. And there we go, that's what we're looking for. And you can see some very obvious wide gap footprints that we can do later on as well. Expanding our airlock out to our mobility chute, and of course our extra drop boxes on the right hand side. This is our chute here that starts at a half height higher, allowing for boxes underneath like so. And around this end we get extra loot space. I don't want you guys to run out before you've expanded up to OC. Compound's kind of expensive and we want to get that down early, so make sure we have enough boxes for that. And exact same thing over the opposite side of the base. Building the start of our mobility chute, the loot room underneath. Getting that ramp down first. And then you can place boxes on that super easily, and the ramp allows us to access them a lot better. Now that that's all up and finished, we'll move on to just filling in these walls at the back here. And on the opposite side, they're just straight up honeycombing. And now we can move on to the wide gaps, so let's get those down. Building out with 3 squares, coming back with triangles. Breaking our build out and replacing it with a square. Triangles off main base, triangles off the square, and there we go. This triangle here is for our battery with a turret on top, so we can single door off our battery or a window depending on what you would rather do. Then we build our little bedroom section in here that gives us really nice turret angles all the way into starter and around the inside of our funnel wall. Sealing this off, you're going to need the chain link BP, so it's really early on in the tier 1, so don't worry about that, you'll get that quick. And we're going to repeat those steps 3 more times. Of course, right now everything will be decaying. We're going to connect it up to an external TC in a moment. But let's get all of these down, and then I'll catch up with you guys when you got that. Okay, and our bedrooms are made now. Let's move on to how we'd connect those bedrooms to an external TC. First of all, we're doing this kind of 3 triangle build out for the double chain link turret that you guys saw. Making sure we double half wall that back wall there. Super important for our disconnectable, don't forget to do that. And that's our chain link section with the turret there for compound turrets. We're going to build out with 4 squares and make our 3 triangle external TC out here. No double half wall needed on this, and a combination of single doors, garage doors, windows, anything you can think of to beef this up. Throw a TC in there, break the foundies going back, and we'll connect it up with frames. And there's our disconnectable TC, and that's how it works. Lets us replace the main base TC if we need to. Okay, so that's how we connect it. We're going to do that 3 more times, and I'll be with you guys once you're all caught up there. All 4 of our TCs are down and they are connected. Next, let's move on to the freehanding portion. A lot of people struggle with freehands. My Discord is always open, my DMs are open. If you need any extra help, we're going to be freehanding on this corner here. In total, there are 4 freehands. Building out just so you guys can see all the spots that we're going to do. Careful to place the low walls the right way around. You'll see that I have to rotate them in a second. So you can get the low walls looking like I do. Activate the crosshair in game with a weapon, placing it right there in the center. And then backing up as much as we can, making sure it's as much as we can. And then building back. And we'll place one singular half wall and check the stability is 79%. Not 70, not below 70, 79%, and it's connected. And then from there we can make a reach peak out of this, throw some roofs on it. And there we go. Now we can expand this out to a funnel wall, which allows us to access our inner compound. This section here with the double door will create our airlock into the funnel wall. And these half-height floors give us a better head glitch from our breach peaks, making it harder for people to shoot back at us. Building a triangle off of our bedroom with a half wall, low wall kind of connection. Expands out with the funnel wall, giving us more spots for traps, whilst giving us an even better angle from inside the bedroom out towards the compound walls. And then you just do that on the opposite side as well, and place your double door in to create an airlock, and then fill those little sections up with traps, flame traps, shotgun traps, anything like that. And that's it. You just repeat that whole process 3 more times. If you do struggle with freehands, give me a shout in the Discord. There's people in there that can help you, including me of course. If you have bad terrain, it's still possible, it's just a little bit harder. I can give you guys a more in-depth tutorial on that in there. And then I'll be back with you guys once you're all caught up on all of these. Okay, our funnel wall is starting to look nice and finished. Next we can bring out some more foundations to allow us to build a compound. We need that frame in the middle there to connect. A small build out allows us to get this triangle in the center like that. And then we'll connect everything up with frames here. Getting a back wall in to cover our turret. Those frames connected back to the funnel wall. And then you have another double chain link turret to separate up your compound. 3 more of those, and then we can join everything up with some high walls. Over towards our external TCs, we need a sort of gatehouse, and that's what we're going to make over here. We're working off the side that has an external, so keep that in mind. A small triangle build out, and then 2 windowed airlocks allow us to exit our compound, giving us a lot of ways in and out, making it hard to door camp. Each gatehouse covers the other gatehouse, so that no one can sit there and door camp you without getting spotted. And once all of these stone gatehouses are built up, we can join everything up with some wooden high walls, and finally get some large furnaces down. Okay, we're ready for high walls now, and it's a simple 2 high wall connection, making pretty much a right angle in between them both, giving us a nice corner to slot a large furnace inside. And large furnaces go all the way around, so we can get that metal cooking fast. And that's what it's looking like above. Okay, barricades, just in case they're confusing. Middle one goes in first, and we need a bit of a twig build out to get everything down. Once the middle one's done, we go off to the side with some more twig, and we place in our last few barricades. Doesn't really matter if you do exactly the same as me, just try and have 3 barricades without gaps in between them. Barricades are in, the temporary twig can get broken, and that's it. Over here, even simpler, 1 barricade covers it up. And then you can get your turrets and your chain link down as well if you're ready for that. But we're going to move on to main base now and OpenCore. Notice that we're building in line with the front doors, so those half walls are in line with our front doors, keeping up that 2-sided symmetry. And you can wrap all the way around to build our little inner core section. We're just going around with all the possible full walls that we can place. Over here is where our turret will sit. And of course there's 4 turrets in total, so we can do all of those turret points, even next to our mobility chute. All 4 turret bits are down now as well. Built in the joining up walls, careful of where our loot rooms are going to be, we don't want to mess anything up. But we can wrap the walls all the way around. Then in between, some dividing walls. And we'll leave a space where our mobility chute is going to be, so we can work on that. On the left hand side, there's our mobility chute. Working on that, we need a half height jump up over here. Careful to break that. And then we have our half height jump. And round the back of our jump up is where we keep our battery spot. So there's 2 of them in total, and 4 in compound, so plenty of battery spots. Running around just to make sure you guys get a good idea of what's going on here. 2 jump ups like that, with a battery behind our jump up. And you can seal that up with a glass window. Should only need to access that once to set up electricity. Then on the right hand side of our drop down, we'll build a jump up to shooting floor level. Perfectly symmetrical with our other jump up. Just like that. And nothing behind that one, it'll just get honeycombed later on. No battery spot there or anything like that. And we'll do the same on this end. Keep in mind guys that this is definitely an expert build, so if you're following along so far, you're doing a great job. But absolutely practice this one on a build server because it's not an easy base. Next, we can fill in these half-height squares. That's where the raised ramp is going to be, allowing us to get those sneaky turret angles. Then in the middle here, we have our drop-down loot room where we can keep our boom. And then we build a kind of main loot off of that as well. Next, we can wrap the rest of this floor around in walls so we can work in peace. No one can hopefully shoot at us from here, and you'll be safe behind your funnel wall and compound. That middle triangle does get honeycombed. And then of course we have our paths that lead through to our wide core. Adding a triangle that will go on top of our turret, and then the raised ramp can go in. Believe it or not, the turret actually does get placed after, so don't worry about sealing this in. That turret can be replaced, refilled, and of course connected to a power source, all from the placement I'm going to show you. Working on our middle loot rooms now, you're going to want to get these boxes down. They are placeable at a different time, but it's easier if you do it now. So make life easy and get those boxes down first. Then we can build the loot room around those. And this is where I recommend you store your boom, because there's a good chance that these boxes could get missed. Because raiders have no reason to drop inside the loot room and look behind them. Definitely an uncommon spot to keep some boxes. And then you just fill out the triangles. All of these loot rooms are triangle loot rooms, so get a triangle like so. And all the loot rooms leading towards our kind of wide core on all the corners are exactly the same as the center too, without the secret boxes. They're 1.5 tall, storing you 6 large boxes, 2 triangle shelves, and 1 ramp loot room at the bottom. Making sure we honeycomb that, must have forgot. And of course we can have door frames leading all the way through. If you are worried about getting offline, you can add door frames on the center hexagon as well. However, they will block some turret angles, so that's completely up to you. But if you are worried about getting offline rated cheap, you can add in those extra 6 or 4 doors, depending on what you choose, to beef up the raid cost a little bit more. We're just getting all of our loot rooms down for just now, and I think they're spread out enough to where the wall cost is still nice and expensive. And then we can basically add a ceiling on all of this. And boom, OpenCore is pretty much finished up. Adding in those turrets, you actually place it through the gap in the ramp at the top there. Not hard to do at all, just line it up, look all the way down, it'll go blue, and try and bring it as close to the ramp as you can so you can access it with a wire tool. That's why we leave out the frame. Usually I like to do a floor frame with a ramp inside, but we leave it out for this reason. And there you go. Alright, moving up a floor. Above our jump ups, we're going to create even more jump ups leading to our roof, and they're going to come with some roof pickups as well. That's why we're doing half wall window. Then you can seal it with a frame to create that head glitch. Have a door leading inside towards the bedrooms and a door leading out to shooting floor. And while we're here, we might as well finish up the roof airlock too. Got a window on one side and a door on the other. And there we go. We'll add another one of them over here. And then we can just wall this in, leaving out the triangle, that's part of shooting floor, leaving us some space for beds. And then just spam lockers, boxes on this floor. making sure we have some kits up on this level. Then a ceiling on top to finish it. And frames here, not walls, because we need to access this from shooting floor. And there we go. We're ready to work on shooting floor, which means getting some frames down. Let's start above our compound bedroom and frame it off with a window on top in the middle. Then we can add the back section over here to conceal our beds and lockers from the outside, and low walls allowing us to peek down into compound. Next, we're going to raise frames up to almost roof level, allowing us to get that roof peak. And of course, there's a window leading in there as well. And these frames eventually lead up to our windmill tower, and we can do that 3 more times all the way around. And we'll just finish off the last bedroom here, and we're ready to work down the bottom now. Okay, so in front of our airlock, we're going to do frames raising up. Then on this section, we do frame, then half wall, then frame, then window. Just like that. And then on the inside, it's simple, frames leading up. There we go, and that's what we want it to look like. And again, we do that 3 more times. Next, we're back down the bottom of the base, and we're going to do a frame on top of our half wall beside the breach peak. Then frames leading up, the half wall in the middle, windows on the outside, and frames again on the inside, giving us stability for our jump up for that roof peak up. And again, we'll repeat that 3 more times. Okay, frames are in for our shooting floor. Now we can move on to floors. And you just place those in as follows, giving us our free-handed peaks, our wide gap peak, and allowing us to use those half-height windows. Super simple all the way around. And once our floors are in, our windows go in next. Double windows here, double windows there. And then we would have a roof coming back off of it like this. Base is really starting to come together now, and it's looking quite cool. All those spots are done now, so we can work on the extra roof peak-ups that we have on the corners with a single door and a window combination. Then we have our backwards facing triangle roofs over there as well. Next, we can get some frames down in our shooting floor. None of these are specifically necessary, it's just good for stability, and I always feel much more completed when those frames are in. Allows us to put some doors down as well to split off the shooting floor, so just copy in those frames that I do there. Alright, so frames are in. Now we can add in the floors for our shooting floor, and they pretty much just mimic what's below. Onto the roof, and the roof's pretty much already done. We're going to add our windmill towers over here, remembering those half walls. And we'll have a tower underneath that backwards facing triangle roof. Beside the ramp, remember you'd like some chain link fence just to keep you a little bit more secure without blocking any of those sight angles. But then you finish up all of your windmill towers, get those turret spots in, and throw windmills on top. Lastly, we have a vending machine bunker that we can place on our roof, adding in those two half walls, or low walls, pushing our vending machine as back as we can, and then throwing a wall in front, giving us a nice 8 rocket vending machine bunker that also doubles up as a drone shop. And once you've done that, that completes the base design. Hopefully boys and girls did enjoy this video. If you did, then please feel free to leave me a like and drop me a comment down below. Super close to 30k. I really want to hit it. It'd be amazing. I appreciate you guys a lot. Hope to see this base out there on some servers. It's a challenge, but you're gonna love it if you build it. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you in a bit.